Mississippi in the Element Well Studios. Joining us now, Representative Charles Busby. He represents House District 111, the chair of the Transportation Committee. Thanks for coming on, Mr. Chairman.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. And also appreciate the flexibility. I know we're coming on about 30 minutes earlier than we anticipated, and that's going to allow me to go have lunch with the coolest 5-year-old in the world at his school, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
That is awesome. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. So, an announcement from Tom King came out not so long ago where he said he would not seek re-election for the Southern District Transportation Commissioner's post. And you have announced you will seek election for Transportation Commissioner in the Southern District. Tell us about your thoughts there.
Well, I think that the skill set that I possess is one that's kind of unique. Having been in the legislature and served as chairman of the Transportation Committee in the House for the past 7 years, and I assume I will do that again this year for one more year. And being an engineer and a contractor, I think gives me a unique perspective to help out. I look forward to working with great folks at MDOT and making our team even stronger if I can. But I will tell you that Mr. King has left some really big shoes to fill, and I hope I get the opportunity to try them on.
Gotcha. Representative Busby, what would be your priorities should you win the seat as Transportation Commissioner?
I think one of the things that we got to do right now, Gerard, is we've had, over the past couple of years, we've had these spikes in spending. We've been able to do some bonding and send a lot of money over to MDOT for repair of our roads and bridges. What I don't think we've done is been able to instill a level of confidence in our contractors from a business perspective that spending is sustainable. So I don't believe that they are willing to make the investment in equipment and personnel necessary to perform at this higher level as needed. I'd like to figure out how we can kind of level that spending, go at a higher level, but level out that spending for a longer period of time to give them sufficient confidence to make those investments that they need to make. Right now, I think we're losing twofold. I don't think the investments are being made, and I think the bids and the schedules are coming in a bit higher because the contractors are overwhelmed. So I don't think we're getting as much work done for our money as we could have. And at the same time, not getting those investments. So I would like to see how we could work together with the other commissioners to get that done.
And that was going to be my next question.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask you if the other commissioners shared your position on this as an issue as well.
I've spoken to Commissioner Simmons about it, and he agrees with that position. I have not spoken to Commissioner Caldwell about it.
Gotcha.
But, I intend to try to influence policy still as much as I can. I feel like I've got some great friends in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, and I appreciate that friendship and the fact that they get the lashes for the money that is given to MDOT to spend. They get the lashes for it, and MDOT gets the praise for spending it, and that's not lost on me. And I appreciate what they do for us, and I intend to continue having a great relationship with my friends in the state legislature.
What's the ratio now, if you happen to know it offhand, Representative Busby, of federal dollars to state dollars that flows through Department of Transportation? It's about 4 to 1, as I recall.
It's at least 50-50, and I don't think it's as high as 2 to 1. But with the recent federal money, it could be.
Yeah. Okay. But we do receive a fair amount of money from the federal government, and then, of course, yes, the state appropriates. Well, actually, the state doesn't appropriate money. Most of its money comes from fuel taxes, right? Its revenues.
That's right. Well, we do have an appropriations bill that goes to MDOT every year, but as a special agency, special fund agency, it's really just permission to spend. So if the money comes in, you have permission to spend it, but not a true appropriation bill.
Yeah, but primarily its source of revenue from the state perspective are the fuel taxes, the excise taxes we pay at the pump.
That's exactly true. And then you may recall from the 2018 special session, we put a fee on electrics and hybrids, and I'd have to go back and double check, but I believe we indexed that fee.
I
And
think that's right.
as that market grows, then that will begin to bring in a little bit of money as well. And then what we did with the lottery money there, and uh, with the gaming sinking fund, and what we've done with the emergency road and bridge program, those are all been good programs.
Yeah, $80 million a year from the Mississippi Lottery Corporation. The first
That's
$80
right.
million of net proceeds produced goes to the state highway fund, and that's something that we like to make that point on a regular basis. In it being that money does not flow through the legislature. It
Right.
in accordance with the Clark Act, goes straight to the state highway fund from the state treasurer, never flowing through the legislature. So
Dedicated to paving 2-lane highways, and you see those results across the state too.
no
You run
doubt.
into those projects all the time.
No doubt about that. Do you have concerns? You're just talking about electric vehicles. I read a report this morning, Representative Busby, that GM says that by 2025, it is going to produce 1 million electric vehicles, and that it's going all electric. I mean, I read that report this morning, issued by their CEO and some of the analysts. This possibly could be a problem from a revenue perspective as we transition more to that over a period of time to the Department of Transportation.
Well, I'm not as scared of it as I was before 2018 when we put
Yeah.
that fee on. And that fee was $150, and that number came about from, hey, if you've got a car that gets 20 miles to the gallon, you drive 20,000 miles a year, you use 1,000 gallons of fuel in Mississippi at 18 cents a gallon, it's $180. So
Okay.
that's where the $150 came from, and it's indexed. So
Okay.
again, I'm not overly scared of it, but I'm also not overly scared of it because I don't think electric vehicles are going to totally take over the market. Are they going to have a market share? Certainly they are. Are we going to have infrastructure to support them? Certainly we will. Uh, but internal combustion engines are still going to be around, and I suspect hydrogen vehicles as well. Now that we kind of know what the future looks like, it isn't a matter of gauging what does it look like. The question is, when does it look like that?
That's right. I agree with you. So it's a timing. It's a function of timing. I was
That's
just a
right.
little stunned that this recent news within the last 24 hours from GM that, we're going to produce 1 million in 2025, which is significantly more than they're producing today. Just got my attention. Anything you would be looking for from your colleagues at the legislature should you be elected to transportation commissioner? You got some ideas on that? Have you set the table with them already on that?
I do, but I would really prefer to talk with them in private before I do that.
Fair enough.
I don't want to get people working against my ideas already.
Fair enough. We have been fairly blessed with money, mainly from the federal government, and of course we've produced surpluses at the state level as well the last couple of years. So we've had a fair amount of money in the Department of Transportation to address our road bridge issue in the last couple of years. We need that to continue.
We've had really good success since the 2018 special session. And then the money that we use out of the use tax to go to roads and bridges for our local system bridge program, our counties, our cities. Great idea that was brought to light by Representative Lamar. I was proud to be able to shine a spotlight on transportation for that special session, and then my colleagues just really came forward with some great ideas, and that was one of the best right there that Trey Lamar came up with, and really good idea. I see it continuing. I do have a couple ideas about how we can maybe find a little bit more money, and I hope to work with my friends in the legislature to get those done.
How about the campaign? You got that cranked up? You've been traveling around the district? You got some websites, fundraisers, a campaign apparatus, all that stuff?
I do. I've had a couple of fundraisers already. I do have a website, charlesbusby4ms.com. Social media presence. trying just to get in touch with as many of my colleagues across the state or across the district as I can. Also, the mayors, the mayors of the cities, they have been tremendous, very big supporters. I've got been endorsed by a number of mayors across the coast and in the Pine Belt, and even Dan Gibson over in Natchez was nice enough to come to a fundraiser over in Ocean Springs for me a couple of weeks ago that Representative Hank Zumber put on for me. I was very pleased at the turnout for that, and we had, I don't know, well over 100 people. I don't know. It was some great people.
Wow.
State senators and supervisors and everything.
We got to go, but we appreciate you coming on, and good luck to you. I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon. We'll see you at the Capitol here in a couple of months.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on the show.
Representative Charles Busby, House District 111, announcing his candidacy as the Transportation Commissioner for the Southern District of Mississippi. We're taking a break.